Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Peace, love, and positivity to you. My name is Sohum, and today I'll be giving a first-time reaction to American R&B singer Patti LaBelle. We're going to be checking out 3 of her songs today, whether it's from Patti herself or with her music group LaBelle. I think we've got a variety, so I'm excited to hear what her sound is like today. We're going to start off with On My Own, then check out Lady Marmalade, and lastly, Oh People. But before we jump into it, a massive thank you goes to Russell for making this reaction request and bringing another new artist to the channel. But now, my friends, let's jump into it. You have the super light guitar, the synths. It is very 90s R&B.
So many times
Oof.
said it was forever. Said our love would always be true. Something in my heart always knew.
Oh,
I'd be lying here beside you.
is it the split screen of her former lover? Oh, that is a good melody. Dude, her voice is like mist.
On my own. On my own.
Like, on that own word, it's like her voice evaporates.
So many promises
Oh, wow.
never should be spoken.
Okay.
Now I know what loving you cost.
Dude, Michael's got a voice on him.
Now we're up to talking divorce.
He's like 2 steps away from having like a classic rock voice. Oh, and that falsetto.
On my own.
Oh, what a good vibe.
Once again. One more time.
Oh, the sustain and then the power.
No one said it was easy.
Her voice was like a spear arcing through the air right there. Really precise.
But it was so easy.
Well, I believe.
I like this music video a lot. I love that we're getting to see like their 2 perspectives. Even though they may have experienced the relationship differently, they came to the conclusion that it's better for them to be on their own. And now both of them, they're still in the kind of post-breakup of this song, are very are going through like all of the stages of grief seemingly. They're reflective. They're very emotional in their delivery. I think every single line that's been sung so far has been very emotionally charged. And their backs are to each other. I like this video. It's a cool idea.
I believe in love. Now here I stand. I wonder why.
For me, I've always had music to get me through breakups.
On my own. Why did it end this way?
Now they're walking towards each other.
This was
Wow,
the
and then through each
time
other.
I'm supposed-
How cool. Let's look at that again. What a smart decision.
This wasn't how it
'Cause
was.
it's like, in the beginning, they became attracted to each other, they stayed together, they were in a relationship, but then realized that they were no good for each other, or they learned the most that they could from each other and then moved past each other like 2 ships in the night. And that's why like all of these little details from set design, the costumes, the editing, everything in the music itself, all of these little decisions are so fun to like kind of discover and then point out. That's why I love doing reactions, just noticing these little things.
I did it in this way. This wasn't how it was supposed to be. I wish that we could do it all again.
So many times, no, I could have told you. Losing you, it comes like a knife.
It simultaneously looks like Michael is in pajamas and like a suit. I don't know if it's because of like the look of this trench coat against his slacks and the way that they look like pajama texture-y, but also kind of baggy.
Losing you, it comes like a knife.
And I feel like she's dressed to go onto like the red carpet.
You walked out and down with my life. I don't wanna live without you.
Wow, I love his part. Great melody.
On my
This wasn't how it was supposed to end.
own, on my
I wish that we could do it all
Their voices
again.
together, it is such an interesting pairing.
I never dreamed I'd spend one night alone.
Whoa. Yeah, man.
Well, I belong again.
The layering is awesome. Now the wide shot.
To be strong again. I never dreamed I'd spend one night alone. By myself.
Okay, Patty. All right, you know ball.
Wanna say that it's
You know
time
La Ball.
again.
That was insane.
That I was sure.
Sorry about that. Wow, I really like that song. I feel like it is a very like 80s 90s R&B song. It perfectly hits that emotional chord. And I think people like oftentimes they rag on music sometimes by saying a lot of the themes in songs are repetitive, like love and heartbreak just being sung about over and over and over again. But for me, I love that. I love the repetition. I love that there's so many angles to come at it from, whether it's in the music, the melody, the rhythms, the video, the whole package, all of it, because it comes from a unique perspective. It is unique. It is not just like something without soul. And to me, I can also support that comment by saying like all of the singing itself felt very emotional from both Patti and Michael. And that brings me to their voices. I found it very interesting to have them paired together here. Because as I heard Patti, she had this very like mystical voice that occasionally would come together like all of the strands and like rope and pierce the sky, like I was mentioning earlier. So she has a like that kind of wide range at her disposal. Michael, his voice, it's powerful. It's like kind of rounded. No, Rocky. Shh. They don't listen, I swear. But he has a rather rounded voice, which it like almost sits inside of the cloud of her voice, like a sort of oyster with a pearl in there. But it honestly isn't the best analogy because it feels like they don't blend together, yet when they harmonize, it still sounds pleasant because they are so distinct. Maybe another way to put this is that their voices, they work together, but they aren't like made for each other. They don't blend and become one voice. They sound like two distinct voices. They kind of exist as two separate toppings that pair well together. Hopefully that makes sense. Great song. Let's jump into the second track here. This one is titled Lady Marmalade, which is from LaBelle. So I think we're going to hear a bit of a different style. Sounds very different. They're dressed up like, I don't even know, like Star Trek people. That's from this song? Is that where that comes from? I can't believe it. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? That's like the that's the joke we had in our French class all the way back in high school. Because like everyone's like, hey, to somebody who doesn't know French, say this funny sentence, which if you guys don't know means will you sleep with me tonight? Is this the origination of that phrase? I'm actually tempted. I'm just going to quickly Google. When did the lyric Voulez-vous coucher avec moi first get sung? Hopefully that comes up with something. Was first famously sung in the song Lady Marmalade, recorded by the group LaBelle in 1974. That's where it comes from. Wow. Dude, it is so cool. I feel like I just had like a full circle moment right there. Because I've heard that so many times in passing, in jokes, even in a singing manner. And this is where it's from. Holy moly. Like, I didn't even process it as part of the title, and now that it's being sung, I'm just... it's an unforgettable realization. Yeah. I love the energy in this. What would you call this genre? Like soul funk? Something like that? Whoa. Whoa. We gotta hear the way she came in there. That sounded like a whistle note. The first note she came in with. If it wasn't a whistle note, it sounded damn near like one. It also could have been an overtone, but we gotta hear it again. Hold on. One more time. I gotta hear the first note. She was either in her mix for the first note or in whistle. But that is insane. Oh my god. This song goes crazy. Oh my god. Dude, she is a vocal killer. Wow. In a different style, with all that power. Jesus. I like it stripped down here. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? That is a really fun song. I feel like I just heard an absolute classic right there with Lady Marmalade. It is just it's such a unique character to this song. Very fun. It almost feels a bit, and when I say a bit, I really mean a bit here. It feels a bit like that kind of, I think it's either samba or mariachi. I don't know those subgenres as well, so forgive me if I'm off base with one or both of those, but something about like the movement, like, okay, if you've ever heard of like songs like bossa nova, that's closer to what I'm picking up in terms of like feel in this song. But it still takes a very funky approach, of like a soul approach, one that I'm more familiar with, but like definitely whatever's happening in the bass is making me feel like that samba slash bossa nova thing, maybe scratch mariachi. But I really like that song. I think it's probably my favorite right now, which it's interesting because normally for me, I am super heavily biased towards songs that are emotional and, potentially very heavy melodically. And the first track was more in that vein, but the second one, maybe it's with the realization, but with the energy, with the performance vocally, I think just like clearly sits above it and above on my own in my mind. But let's check out the last track here. This is "Oh People." I think just Patti LaBelle now, not the other two singers.
If we are one big family, no one will have to beg to eat. If we live in a world of dignity, no man will have to live on the street. If I tell you you're a part of me, there's no need for disbelief.
Like, I think I've neglected to bring this up the first time around, but like when I first heard Patti, I was reminded of singers like Dionne Warwick, of Diana Ross, of Shaka Khan, Gladys Knight. I was reminded of singers like that, and those singers are all one step removed from singers who sound like, who would create songs that sound like this. Think of like your Stevie Wonders, your Michael Jacksons. This song, it's very like people oriented. It's about human values of what we value societally. And songs like this always have a very like, not always, I shouldn't be absolute, but this kind of vibe always, oh God, I said it again. This kind of vibe often appears with like these just human focused songs. Do you know what I mean? Very poppy, very grandiose. Yeah. Yeah.
There's no need for disbelief. He is my hand to let you know that what we dream we all can hold. Apart we are weak, together we're
Your Whitney
strong.
Houston's.
We're all writing this song. We are all living these words together. Forever.
Oh, wow.
There's no reason we can't live and be one. Build the world that we want together. For as long as you stand in my lead.
The power in her voice continues to fill the entire expanse of this mix. If you imagine like the song to be a room, her voice fills it
Think of all the
completely.
possibilities that the eyes of a child can see. Think of all the opportunities that float right by you and me. Take my hand, we will know all that we dream will be our own. Apart we are weak, together we're strong.
Oh my goodness. This has got me entranced.
We're all writing this song.
It's all our song.
We're all living these words together.
Community,
Forever.
making each other better, supporting each other. That's what it's all about.
We can live and be one.
Unbelievably uplifting.
Build the world that we want together. For as long as you stand here by me, we'll live
I like the simplicity in this. I guess you can call this a bridge. It's all about the beat, just the dancing along to it, existing in that melodic space. Oh my god. Bro. Goodness. Oh my god. TVs around the world. Dude, her high notes are insane. Oh my god, every single time she did it across these tracks, like, I'd lost the ability to think about anything else other than how crazy high her voice was. And you heard on that, like, ascending slide all the way up there, she pulls so much strength from below. And when, like, you as a vocalist, you go to sing really high notes, oftentimes it's easier to get into those higher notes on a slide rather than, like, not singing anything and then punching that really high note. Because it's the difference between, like, having to, like, throw a dart at a dartboard versus, like, dragging the dart to the bullseye. And you stack that across an extremely massive vocal range, it can be difficult to be perfectly precise unless you have thousands and thousands of hours of practice or perfect pitch, or it just comes very naturally to you. And when it comes to, like, just amazing vocalists, generally speaking, those skills become very innate for them very quickly, and they learn it at a high level, so that whenever they go to sing the extremely high note, they can like hit it precisely. But then you'll also note, like in a lot of live performances, some of the ones that like go in these like cringe montages where the singer, like, they're clearly having a bad day and they're missing the notes and their voice is breaking and cracking. That is like pretty much what happens when you aren't warmed up, and or just you're having an off day. And if your vocal range doesn't get warmed up properly, you're not going to be able to hit those high notes precisely, even if you've been able to do it. So warming up is just a requirement, in my opinion, to be able to like do what she does. But it also just may, again, come down to like her raw talent and being able to hit those notes anyways. But regardless, any of the notes that she decided to hit all sounded amazing. Because again, we heard in the first song, she has this misty effect, but then she also has this extremely powerful belt that is commanding in its own right. Then she can get softer and warmer, more like a velvety texture. So she just transitions between those three depending on whatever the song requires. And man, they're fun songs too, because you have this really inspiring one with Oh People, then with Lady Marmalade, a track that is really danceable, and then the first song more emotional. I feel like we got a very good 3D view of Patti LaBelle, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts on these songs, on Patti, in the comment section down below. If you'd like to request more Patti LaBelle on the channel yourself, you can do so by hitting the first link in the description box below. That is the best way to support my channel. But as always, my friends, thank you all for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.